Hello. So the purpose of this video is a brief introduction to get you started on how to use your golf simulator. Ideally, you've purchased a golf sim from us and we've just finished your fit out, and I'm going to show you how to turn the PC on, turn the projector on, open GSPro and learn to navigate all of the different options within the software. That is the premise. So we're going to try and keep this fairly brief. If you have any questions whatsoever or any pain points, anything at all, let us know and we'll get straight back to you. Let's begin. So first things first, PC. The power button on most of our models is over here. On this one, it is just at the front here. So you just give this a very light press until you hear it click, like so. The lights come on. The next step, turn the projector on. Projector. This is an Optima remote. Some of them will look like this. Some of them will be smaller and white, look more like credit cards. They more or less all have the same sort of functions. On here we've got the on button. This one has an off button as well. Not all of them have that. Sometimes it will just have a single button for power. You have to press that once for on, twice for off, generally the case. On here we're just going to go one press on, and the projector is going to have a blue light to signal that it's switching on. So we've turned on our PC, we've turned on our projector. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to open GSPro. So on here, we've got the GSPro icon. I'll try and keep this in view as much as I can. Use your cursor and just double click the GSPro icon. It should also be visible down here as a thumbnail on the taskbar, so you can click it there as well if it's not appearing up here, which it should be. So double click this icon. This menu will open every time. It's just checking for updates on GSPro. Next up is going to be this menu here. On here, you have some drop down boxes. Now, if we've set your sim up for you, you should be keeping these settings the same. But if they change for any reason and you find that GSPro is coming up on the wrong screen, it's probably because this third drop box down currently says display 1 left. Has got the wrong thing selected. So if you click in there, you can see it says display 2 right. That would be this monitor here, which is off screen at the moment. And we don't want to use that one. We want to use this as the main screen, which is display 1 left. We're running at medium graphics. Your PC's chances are, if we've installed them for you, they're going to be running at ultra in 4K. But this is all dependent on the PCs and the graphical capabilities of each of the PCs. Once you've selected all of these and you're happy with your choices, you click play. Now, if GSPro doesn't display on the correct screen, it's likely that you've got this one the wrong way around. So you just need to close GSPro, open it up again, and select the opposing screen. Click play. So the next window that's going to appear is this here. This is your connection window. In here, you want to make sure your launch monitor is turned on, or it's going to give you this red bar just here. So we're going to go down, we're going to turn our GC3 on, like so. It's going to do that. And eventually, once it's sorted itself out, it's going to come up in the connection manager. So this is the data screen at the moment. You can keep this, you can get rid of it. It's entirely up to you. What you don't want to do is press the X over here, because if you close this window, you'll lose connection to the GC3 or the launch monitor, and you won't be able to use GSPro. So you need to make sure this window is either moved across onto a different screen or minimized, which is this one just here. So we're going to click on connection manager. In here, it says no devices found. Now, GSPro works with different launch monitor brands, and it knows that we're trying to use a Foresight device, so we should have set this up for you. But if you're having any issues with it, it's most likely due to an internet problem. GSPro needs to find your license to be able to work, and if you don't have internet, it's not going to be able to find your license. Click search. It's going to come up there. Shouldn't need to connect because we've got auto connect on startup, but if for any reason yours doesn't do this when you start up and give you 2 green bars, it's most likely because this is turned off or because you don't have internet. Now that we're happy with this screen, we're going to move this window along here, and we're going to put it on this screen here and click back onto shot data. So this is the main GSPro menu. Got local match. This is where you're going to do your normal course play. So you can do 1 player, 2 player, 3 player, 4 player, up to an 8-man scramble. There's different courses to play within there. You've got over 1,500 courses on GSPro. You've got different match formats. You can do wind settings. You can do different tees. You can play with lots of different players. You can set up your own player profiles. We'll go into that a little bit deeper. That's all done from local match. Then you've got Practice is your standard driving range, so flat level playing field if you just wanted to dial in yardages. Also got in practice on-course practice, so of the 1500 odd courses on GSPro, you can play any of those in practice mode, where you can move the ball to any location you like, on any hole, on any course, and keep hitting shots until you choose to move that ball. Then we've got challenges. This has another 5 subset menu within it, and that is probably a video in itself, but in here we have Operation 36, we have distance challenges, we have long drive competitions, lots of fun stuff. Not something we need to get too bogged down into at the moment. We'll have a quick look at it in a sec. SGT Sim Golf Tournaments. This is a bit of an add-on, so you can go onto Discord, you can sign up for some of these tournaments. I think it's about £40 per year. If you do have the time for it, it is good, but not something I've really explored. Online match, you can play with anyone else who owns GSPro, as long as they have a compatible launch monitor. And this software, they can use online match, and you can play them anywhere in the world, on any course. It's great fun, I promise. We'll do a little dive into some of these. We'll start on local match. This is our course library. So you might be greeted with a similar sort of view to this. If you haven't yet downloaded any courses, then you won't have any of these play buttons here. If we look here in the top right, we've got 50 courses currently installed. If I click all courses, that number goes to 602 courses. So that's how many are currently available within this software, and this is how you navigate through them. For navigation, you can use the search bar. So if you've got a specific course in mind, you can type it in here and try and find that course. So for instance, you could type Belfry, you could type Valderrama, you'll be able to find them and they'll come up just in this list form here. If you wanted to just go by popularity, it's quite handy. You can just click popular here, and all of the most popular courses within GSPro, these are the ones that are downloaded the most frequently, or the total number, they'll come up nearer the top. So you've got on here, you've got Scottsdale, Sawgrass, and Augusta. So these obviously being some of the bigger name courses. So once we've chosen our course, we're going to play Conway Farms. We're going to see this, and this is the player menu now. So this is where you add players, take players away, set team colours, set match setting tees. So if you did want to, let's say for instance, play on different tee positions or different tees, this is where you would do it. So you set up individual tees for each player. Generally good for when you're playing with kids or maybe grandparents. You can also set your team colour if you wanted to play a different type of match. So if you wanted to do match play, for instance, you have to have different team colours. Now we've got different setups. So we've got round setup, course setup, and scoring. This is mainly subjective. So a lot of these are going to be default set, and you don't have to touch them too much. They're going to be down to your preferences, which you'll find as you go along. But in here we've got, this is where you find the wind and the stimp ratings and the fairway and green firmness. What you can do though is just select course recommended settings, and it will level the course for what it should be. If you click on holes at the top, you can see the yardage on every hole that you're playing. You can also deselect some of these. So if you only wanted to play the front 9, the back 9, you can do it within here. Also, when you change the match setting tees, these numbers are going to change as well. So you can play any course as a par 3 course, for instance. Come into here and you can see how far each of the holes are before you get started. Once you're ready to play, you can either head to the range down here, or you can go straight into the course. So if you haven't hit any shots and you want to have a little warm up, you can go to the range, and then straight from the range you can go into playing your match. Once you are inside your game, you can click on the 4 dots at the top right of this screen. You can hopefully see the cursor there. Click there, go into settings. This is where we're going to have a look at the visual settings and the offset position. If for any reason your sim isn't set up correctly, or at least not comfortably, launch visual offset editor. So that's visual settings, offset, launch visual offset editor. It's going to come up with this screen here. Then we've got offset enabled. This box has to be ticked here, and you can do your left-handed and your right-handed offset position. Now this wants to be lined up between the ball and the screen, and it wants to be perpendicular. So it wants to run all the way through in a straight line, all the way through from ball to screen. Just want to make sure that's lined up, otherwise subconsciously you're going to be either pushing or pulling your shots. Once you're happy with your offset, you can save and exit, but as I said, this should have been set up. If you've got one of our sims, it should have already been set up for you. Right, once you are inside a game, just do a quick quick overview of how to get around the courses. So you can aim either by using the cursor. So this is your mouse. You can just click where you want to aim. You can aim on the mini map down here. So you just click an area that you want to aim for. Let's say you've got a hook that you're working on at the moment. You can click over here. So you're hoping to sort of bring it round back onto the fairway. Once you're ready and you've set your aim position, you're going to hit your shot. What we'll do, I'll just knock this ball quick. So that's our shot there. Now what it's going to come up with is shot options just down here on the left. So I can do a rehit, mulligan, sim drop, concede, or replay. So if you've got mulligans turned on, this is where you can find it within this shot options menu here. Rehit will give you a 1-stroke penalty. Sim drop, if you are in an unplayable lie, it's going to let you drop back out onto the fairway. So if you're inside a tree or in a bush and you can't get out of it, I'd recommend just not persisting and trying to hit out of the bush. Just give it a sim drop and just drop it back out onto the fairway, like so. Once you're done in here, if you finish a round up, you can exit straight from the scorecard at the back. But if you want to get out of a round early, you just need to press those 4 dots again, and you're going to go on end round. So it's going to bring you back to the player menu. Then if we have a look at practice quickly, this is the flat practice range. This is no wind, no altitude, no external factors. This is just a static driving range. There is a dynamic hole system on here where you can create your holes, but that's for another day. On course practice, you can choose any course to play on, any hole position. We'll have a quick look in there. Hopefully you can see this okay. So up here on the top left, you can see my cursor. We've got this ball icon here. So this is the first hole. So if I click the ball icon, left click the ball icon, and then click anywhere on the green or anywhere on the course, it's going to move that ball to the location that I've clicked. What we're going to do now, so you can hit anywhere on the course, you can place this ball icon. So I can play from the roof up here. I can place the ball in the bunker. You can do this on any course on GSPro. So ball icon is just navigation within each hole. You can move that and it will stay there until you move that ball again. If you click on the pin icon up here, top left as well, that's going to let you navigate all of the different holes. So you can jump to 18, you can play out of a bunker, and you can do the same thing, ball icon, click the ball, and you can do this on any course. Now that's on-course practice in a nutshell. There's also, I'll say this up here, quick CTP, that's nearest the pin. So if you wanted to set up a quick nearest the pin, that's the best way to do it. Other than that, we're not going to get too bogged down in this. Again, if you've got any questions, just give us a shout. We're going to exit this, 4 dots, end round. Back to the main menu again. We'll have a quick look at challenges. So Operation 36 is a progression game. It's going to start very, very easy, and it's going to get progressively more difficult. So it's one to get used to. I won't go into too much detail about that. Distance challenges, we've got online leaderboards, lots of different shot distances, putts, chips, pitches, full shots, drives. Each one has a leaderboard, so it's a good challenge game for sure. Custom skills test here is very similar to that. It's just a little bit older than this. This has got a few more challenges on it, but these ones are quite quirky. They're quite interesting. Chips over bunkers and out of rough, and just trying to hold the green on these is quite difficult. Ultimate long drive, self-explanatory. It's just a giant field and you hit drives down it. 60 shot skills test is again another feedback skill-based game where you're just trying to get the highest score possible. So that is it. All you need to do now is spend some time getting used to this on your own. It will become a lot easier, I promise. It is very intuitive software, so getting used to it should be swift. But if you have any problems along the way, or if you want to ask any questions about any part of the software, do just get in touch. Right. So hopefully you are still with us. Thank you for watching. I hope it was informative. As I've said before, if you've got any questions surrounding the software or anything else sim related, please do just give us a shout. We can generally help with anything sim related, so don't be shy, get in touch and have fun.